I'm here with the Newberry College Director of Spirit Programs. I'm going to let her introduce herself and give you a little bit of her backstory.
So my name is Justina Teal. I am the Director of Spirit Programs here at Newberry College. I recently got a promotion, so we I was just the cheer coach prior, and so now I oversee cheer and dance here at the college. And then we kind of just did some restructuring, so that's kind of why I'm in the position that I am in. I also oversee our mascot, so if you see Scar around campus, I also help make sure that he's okay and that he's doing good. And then a little bit about myself. I worked for varsity for 10 years. So if you've ever heard of UCA, NCA, UDA, NDA, I worked for varsity. It's kind of varsity is the big umbrella group that we all fall underneath. Worked for them for 10 years. And then before that, I was a high school coach at AC Flora. I did a little bit of all star, dabbled in the all star world for a little bit, but college is where my heart is. I met my fiance here at Newberry. Um, and we're getting married in November. And then a little bit more about myself, I guess, in cheer terms. I went to Lander University where I cheered for 4 years. I was captain there. I was a part of a lot of clubs and organizations while I was on campus. My bachelor's degree is in mass communication, so this is really cool that you guys are doing this. I think it's really fantastic. I'm mass comm till I die, so it's fantastic that we're here and we're doing this. So the program's been around for quite some time. It started probably in the 60s, I would say maybe even the 50s, and before um, it really grew to what it is now. It really was just a game day team. So that game day aspect is cheering for football and basketball and kind of being in community service projects and that sort of realm. Probably around the 2000s is when the split for the team kind of emerged where it started being a competitive team. So when the program first started, it was just an all girl program. There were boys, um, males on our team, but they weren't really competing. It wasn't until mid 2000s. I'd say probably around 2010, 2011 is where they did the hard switch over to co-ed. And so the difference between all girl and co-ed, all girl clearly is a team that is strictly girls. It's a female based team. And then when you move into co-ed, that's when you start adding males onto your team. We've been competing in co-ed since 2011, 2012, 10-ish area. But this will be the first year that we are going back to all girl, which is super exciting. I think we're going to excel in the all girl world. We have put a lot of thought into doing the switch, but we think it's going to be the best for our program to be successful at nationals. We compete at NCAA nationals, which is down in Daytona, um, and we compete in the intermediate division. So we'll be competing in the intermediate division 2 all girl division.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Thank
it is.
you.
I'm so pumped. I cannot wait.
So going on to that, with switching back to the all girl division, what are some of the things that you hope to highlight and showcase for your team this year for that division?
Yeah, so in all girl, it's really for us. It won't be a huge major switch in terms of skill. The only difference is that those co-ed skills won't be there anymore. Where you're seeing that kind of partner work, whether it's just girl and boy. Um, but this year hopefully we're working right now some all girl stunts that are still co-ed style, which no one in our division is doing, which is really exciting. Um, so essentially, it's that same co-ed kind of skill, but it's going to be with girls. That I think is going to be one of the highlights of our routine. And then I think this year we are doing a new stunt that we've done before. It's just got a little bit of a twist to it. Um, for people in the cheer world, we're doing it's called hand in hand. So essentially, the top girl is making hand connection with the bases, and then it's standing in the handstand position. So the top girl, so the girl that you guys typically see in the air, is the girl that is doing that handstand on top of the stunt, and then it's going to melt to the floor and then pop back up. So that is really, really exciting.
And with that brings me to my last question. Where do you hope to see your team place at nationals this year?
I think we have the capability to place top 5 easy. Um, last year we placed 11th out of 22 teams, which put us in the top half of our division. We did have some mistakes. Even, I mean, again, going kind of back to the tumbling thing, if we would have had majority in tumbling, we would have placed seventh, sixth. So I think going into a division where we are already stacked, because our routine is harder than it was last year. I think we make routines harder every year. We sit comfortably everywhere else in our routine. The thing that kills us is tumbling. And going into a year where we're not really worried about that aspect, it should be no problem to place top five. It really will, I always tell the kids that I can only do so much for them. If I could be out on the mat with them and make it work, I would. At the end of the day, any coach will tell you we can prepare them to be the best, but it's up to them to believe that they are the best and can be the best. And if they have that mindset going onto the floor every single time, there should be no issues. So there should be no problem with them placing top five. I think if they can believe in themselves, there should be no reason why we don't place top three.
Thank you.
You're welcome.